Max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going today. Let me max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going. Let me know if there's an echo too. Let me max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going. Let me know if there's an echo too. There's an echo. Let me horrible echo. Max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going. Let me know if there's an echo too. There's an echo. Let me horrible echo. Max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going. Let me know if there's an echo too. There's an echo. Let me horrible echo. Max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going. Let me know if there's an echo too. There's an echo. Let me horrible. Let me horrible. Max out that. Alright, everybody, how are y'all doing? Alright, let's get this going. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know why this is just replaying. Yeah, no, bro. This is this is. Look, it's not Nash at night if it doesn't just have a colossal failure at the start. All right, let me get the. Okay. Okay. All right, I have that. Let me add an output capture. Is there anybody in the room? Let me actually go hop in that room and. Oh, there's already people in here.
Way, doing some filming too. Hey, hold on. Hey Nash, can you hear me? I'm looking at you on my phone on YouTube.
Yeah, here. Give me a second. I'm gonna mute y'all real quick.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let me see. Hold on. I'm actually gonna unmute Trent real quick, see if we can test this out.
So, yeah, no Nash, but it just had a little.
Okay. All right, so we're about to get this call and show underway here. How we're going to do this is it's not going to be. There are spaces on Twitter. I love them, but we're not going to. This is going to be more one-on-one, and then we'll go in line, and then if you want to hop back in the end of the line, you can do that as well. So that's how we're going to operate these.
Artist spaces.
All right, hey, yo, Trent. We'll start off with Trent. How you doing, Trent?
Hey, so I had you on my phone, and I know there was a little bit of a lag, but are we good now?
Yeah, we should be good. I think we're all good. Chat, let me know if everything's good. I think it looks all good on my end. So, what do you want to call in about
Okay,
tonight?
well I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the YouTube, and I'll just pull it up over. But no, like I said, guys, I'll be down seeing Kobe Black this week. Connolly versus La Vega. I'll be shooting film for him. I know Nash knows Lacey. She'll be down there helping me out. Uh, but hey, Nash, Trey told me to tell you, you know what's up, and he'll be out filming Micah Hudson on Thursday.
All right. Well, you know what? I I'm not too much of a recruiting guy, but it'll. I mean, Micah from what everybody says, he's that dude, and it's gonna suck that I don't think Texas is gonna get him, but it is what it is. So how
Yeah.
are you feeling about the game week, Trent?
Oh, dude, like Hey, did you get I sent you a DM. Um, what it was just basically a link to some of my footage.
Yeah. Hold on.
But it's all raw, unedited footage. So I'm uh I'm working on just getting the hype video done right now. Uh, it's just it's time consuming because I got the day job and then I got life in general, and right now everything that I'm doing is on my own penny, and so I'm just trying to do what I can as far as Texas fans are concerned. I'm definitely trying to hit every every game that I can for kids that we're looking at or y'all are interested in. But that's kind of the focus right now. But yeah, Nash, you can let it go to somebody else for a second.
All right. I mean, no problem. I was just. Is there anything that you're calling in specifically about?
No, no, really, I just wanted to tell everybody that I'm rebranding the Twitter.
Yeah, go on and tell everybody what
Starting
you're
the
doing with
YouTube.
the high school stuff.
Yeah. Uh, but anyway, like I said, I'm just rebranding everything to Laced Up Sports Media. So just be on the lookout for it.
And that's so for those that don't know, that's with I'm trying. It's laced up. What's I'm blanking on the YouTube name right now. What's Lacey's YouTube name?
You're talking about uh,
Lacey's
Lacey?
podcast. Yeah. What's her name?
Yeah. So her podcast is it's called I believe it's just the Laced Up with Lacey or something like that. It's all Texas sports, but she's also gonna. So that's kind of we're gonna kind of be a brother sister type program.
Mm-hmm.
So she's helping me out. I'm helping her out. She'll be down at Connolly with me doing the interview with Kobe, and then I'll just be shooting all the film and everything. So, uh, but like I said, I'm busy as hell. And Nash, I've been asking about editing and stuff. So, like, I'm shooting all the film, and I'm giving her access to my Adobe and everything to start helping me edit and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. And I mean, like I said, the best advice that anybody's ever given me is just start. You just gotta start. And I mean, the thing is it's gonna like content's gonna be bad at the beginning. Like I mean, Lord knows that these streams are
No,
absolutely terrible.
hey, but
But here, hold on.
what's crazy though, man? I didn't mean to stop you, but what's crazy is I caught on with the phone that I'm shooting with, the S23 Galaxy Plus or the Ultra Plus, and then my DJI Osmo SE. Um, I caught on to it really quick. Like I was talking with Trey, and he went and looked through my footage of everything, and he was like, "Bro, he's like, that's not bad for like literally never having done this."
Hey, I mean that's good to hear, man. Well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but like I said, I just gotta get the editing process down. So, let somebody else take it over.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, feel free to hop back in the end line too, or you can. I mean, you can always stay in here too. By the way,
I'm gonna stay in.
yeah. I'll just get back to you later. All right, I'm gonna go to WW real quick. WW with Scott. Let me unmute you. Is it Scott or Shot? What
Shot.
Shot?
Shot.
Shot.
Yep.
How are you doing, Shot?
I'm
What do you
good,
want to call
man.
in about today?
I'm just excited, man. It's been a long off season. We might get a commitment before game one against Rice, so that's exciting. Dominic McKinley announces Friday. It
Absolutely.
looks like
Here,
we're in a good spot for him.
keep talking. I'm just gonna open the door for my dog. Can't stop walking back and
Um,
forth. Sorry.
yeah, so a lot of things to be happy about right now. I'm just really excited that the season's finally starting.
No, I mean this is a. this season really like it almost it feels too good. It feels too good to be true.
It does,
Completely.
right? And see, I'm a younger Texas fan. I'm only 18 years old, just turned 18 in January. And so my first memory of being a Texas fan was around 2010, 2011 when I was real little, and we were not good. We've never really been
So
the
you've never even
2018
experienced the
season was the
2008
best season of my
season.
life.
You've never
What's that?
you never really experienced the 2008 season then.
No, I did not.
I mean,
No, I mean I've
that
watched
that
every
just trips
single
me out,
highlight
man.
ever.
That just and you know what?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I actually I'm working on something that I'm gonna be when we place an order. I'm gonna be working on something very soon. That will give people a peek into the 2005 season, similar to how I do stuff for this year. So, but man, I mean, you know what? It's fans like you that are legit fans. Like that, you cannot. If anyone ever calls you a bandwagon fan, I expect for you to just respond with just absolute like fire. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you don't know what I've
I
gone
know.
through, the loyalty I've had.
Yeah, I have a picture of when I was real little, like 8 years old, with Mac Brown, and that was in his last year in 2013, I believe. And since then, most of my Texas memories have been Charlie Strong and Tom Herman.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't know if you watched my video today. Mac Brown, as good as he got, as good as he was at the Texas program, and he was responsible for that downfall that we had. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, absolutely.
and really it was on the offense. Like it was just a complete lack of anything on the offense, and I mean you go back to it makes a lot of sense when we were going through the Greg Davis hires all over again, and then who's the Boise State guy that went to Auburn? I'm blanking on his name. Harsin, Brian Harsin.
Oh yeah,
like
Brian
just
Harsin.
a lot of bad days, a lot of bad days, and honestly, Charlie, he as great he's a really great guy, all that stuff. It was just the game management, man. He just did not have it there.
This season it definitely is the most optimistic I've ever been. Last season I thought 9-3, 8-4 was reasonable. You know, with a freshman Quinn, just a really young team, young offensive line, but we're just too talented to be worse than 10-2 this year, I think.
I mean, that's my whole stance. Like my stance has been, if we're 10-2 this year, it's just I don't want to say it's a failure, but you're
If we go
not
10-2, we better win the Big 12 championship.
you're not meeting what you should be doing, because if you were to
Right.
if you were to put this roster and you were to slap a Bama logo on it, slap a Georgia logo on it, slap a Penn State logo on it, slap a Notre Dame logo on it, people would say this is there would be a lot of people arguing it's a top 5 roster.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I can't even blame people for not buying in. Because over the past 15 years, why would they? Why would they buy into it?
Yeah,
Even
I mean,
though,
what have we given them?
we
What
know,
reason?
we know that, obviously, like during Herman and Strong, the offensive line talent wasn't there. But at the same time, we've still had talented enough teams to where we don't need to be going 5-7 and losing to Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at last year, even without the like if we don't blow those 31-17 leads, it's a 10-2 season with a 1-point loss to Alabama and a 7-point loss to TCU. And those are both top 4, and those are both top 4 teams. And then here's the crazy thing about TCU: if you were to give me 100 guesses as to why we lost, even after I'd seen the Alabama game, as to why we lose to TCU, my last guess would probably be because we just played one of the best defensive performances we've seen in the last 10 years. And there was just zero offense, no offense.
We had
Nowhere to
zero
be found.
offensive touchdowns.
No, it was zero offensive points, I think.
Jade Barron was the only one that scored a touchdown on a scoop and score.
No, we might have got a field goal, but yeah, I mean, and then missed field goals too. That killed us last year in clutch situations.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, like, and it just like it shows you all. It really the TCU game. What it showed too was how important it is to play a clean game 100% of the time.
Hmm.
You can mess up on 2 plays and that can put 14 points on the board, and it can erase an entire day almost. Because that was a performance that was worthy of 7 points or less being scored.
Yeah. I was, overjoyed with how the defense performed, even though we lost. And Terrence Brooks gives up that double move to Quinn Johnson, leaves him wide open in the back of the end zone. But it's like you have to be able to live with that, and then you have to expect that your offense can score more than 10 points or 3 points. They got a field goal, and then their defense scored.
I mean, it was opportunity after opportunity. We couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it was
Couldn't get it done.
abysmal. It was abysmal. And then the worst part was we had first and goal, and Bijan Robinson doesn't get a single touch on the goal line.
So what do you think the record is for the 2023 season? I mean, I think you had a pretty. I wouldn't say conservative. I'd say pretty realistic. I was fairly gassed up last year, but it's. I mean, I feel like I said, like we should have been a 10-2 team. Like I feel like they actually kind of backed me up a little bit, but uh, what's your so you're I mean you've clearly gone through a lot of bad years. You're clearly, I mean you're. It feels like you're almost not afraid to bite into the Kool-Aid, but in the past you have, and then you're buying it now.
I'm definitely more hesitant to drink the Kool-Aid, considering how past seasons have gone. But I would say my realistic record prediction would be 10-2 with a win in a Big 12 championship to end the season 11-2. Loss being probably to Alabama in Tuscaloosa, night game. If you ask me this on game day, I'm gonna say Texas is gonna win. But now that
Absolutely.
I'm not drunk on burnt orange Kool-Aid right now, so I'll say we lose in Tuscaloosa. And then we might drop at TCU. I would have said Iowa State if you asked me that about a month ago, but I'm a bit more confident now in the Iowa State game after all the stuff that's been happening with the gambling scandal.
Yeah, I was on the same boat as you. Like that was if you asked me a month ago, man, that was my game that we were gonna drop, and because it's a perfect spot. We haven't
I don't know
left the
what it
state
is about
all
us
year
playing
long.
in Ames.
Well, no, honestly, it has nothing to do with Ames for me. It had everything to do with the fact that we would basically almost fallen into a rut, in my opinion, where we've been in the state because we don't lead the state after Alabama until we get to Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
the next time
That is
we
right.
leave.
I forgot about that.
That's the next time that we leave the state. So, I could see like the jet lag maybe biting them, and then they're not 100% ready for that game, and then they just get caught off guard by an Iowa State team that's just God willing trying their best, but not now. No, like I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't even get behind it
now
now.
after all that.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's
I would
it's a
say
crazy
11
wild
and
world
2
wild
Big
world we live
12
in.
champ- Yeah, it really is.
So, who do you think we match up with in the Big 12 championship?
Oh.
Or have you don't have to answer if you hadn't thought that far.
No, I got a couple of teams in mind. It as much as I don't want it to be, it could be Texas Tech. McGuire's a really good coach, and I think he has a really 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 good squad in Lubbock. If not them, I think Kansas State is a very veteran team. Got a well team. I think Kansas State or Texas Tech. I don't see Oklahoma making it. I think Oklahoma loses to SMU week 2, but that's one of my crazy takes.
I think OU they have a very interesting schedule where like I think
so
there's a lot of
workable.
toss-up matches for them.
Yeah.
He found
Oklahoma's
the auto
schedule's
board. He found. Hey, this is my favorite one.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Oh, I love Gus.
Yeah, hey, Gus is amazing, man. Yeah, hey, Texas Tech, they're certainly a team that can make it in. And the interesting thing is if we both end up in the Big 12 championship, it's a rematch. 7 days after we,
Yeah,
or no,
back to back.
8 days after we play, because we'll be playing on a Friday.
Yeah. What did you think about the whole Brett Yormark situation with the comments he made?
I mean, I did a little video on it, but I mean, basically, I think that I think it just like it. I don't necessarily like it. It doesn't trigger me that much. I'm not like upset by it, but it's just stupid. Like you've just now opened yourself. You've just now opened a can of worms that didn't need to be opened.
Oh, say
Yeah,
that.
it's one of those things where it's like we all know you're thinking it, but to actually say it out loud is just, it took me back a little bit. I'm like, wow, he really said that.
Well, because it's like now. Well, here's the deal: if there's anything controversial, slightly controversial, it does not have to be Texas fans. It's going to be a lot of other people.
Yeah, it will blow up because you went out and said that you want Texas Tech to win in Austin.
I was actually about to get to that person. Oh well. Feel free to hop back in if you're still out there. Apologies.
I think, Nash, I think Trent is talking. I think.
He is? Here, let me. We'll go back to it. Here, we'll open it up. We'll just do a two-way call right now. What's up, Trent? You talking?
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna go back to you. Did Shot say that Oklahoma State's gonna beat Oklahoma?
No. But that could happen.
No, he said SMU.
SMU. Yeah, definitely. I can see SMU doing it. But more or less what I was going to say is, like, Oklahoma State is going to have a very, very bad year this year.
See, I thought that for a long time. And, the person that sold me on Oklahoma State has been Josh Pate. I don't know if you listened to Late Kick, but he's big on Oklahoma State.
Yeah, but the thing is they don't know who their quarterback's going to be. And I mean, are you going to roll Gundy's son out there looking like a salt shaker before
Texas Tech legend Alan Bowman?
Oh, so Oklahoma State got Bowman?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I still don't believe the hype. But yeah, I truly do believe in the hype, and I know you were talking about you heard that we were going to get a commitment Friday.
Potentially, hopefully.
Yeah, there's I'm not gonna say anything less than unless LSU makes something right with a certain individual that they highly pissed off. Yeah, he's a Texas lock. You'll be seeing him committed on Friday to Texas.
That would be a nice little present day before game day. That would be wonderful.
I love it. I love it. Just keep
like
on adding talent.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that right now. But just know that certain individual. I don't know all the details of what took place, but that individual does not want Dominic at LSU unless they have already made it right, or unless they make it right before Friday.
I've been so impressed by this staff's ability to. They see a need, and then they fill it, and they have not struggled filling it. Last year, the first year, 2022 class, it was O-line. This year, we know we needed defensive line talent. We go ahead and sign the #1 edge, and now we're going for the #1 defensive player in the state of Louisiana.
Man,
we need SEC bodies in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's. Hey, that's the thing that's really impressed me about Steve Sarkisian is the fact that he's been able to identify an area that needs to be addressed on this roster, and he
And
goes
not-
out there and he actually like
Sorry.
he fills it in. Like you look at the linebacker position. My issue with the linebacker position where
Yeah.
we stand with it this year isn't it has nothing to do with the talent. The talent it's as talented as it ever could get. Not as ever could get, but it's a very talented position group. It lacks experience.
It does.
Yeah, and to kind of jump in on that, like, was it Shot or Scott?
Shot.
Okay, so Shot, like, did I hear you say that you really got involved with Texas football like in 2011?
That was my youngest memory. I'm only 18, so
Yeah, he's a young
that's
gun.
the youngest I got.
I mean, you gotta realize. I mean, hold on. What's 18? What's the birth year for 18?
2005. 2005 was the year I was born.
2000. You were born in 2005, the year that
I was
oh my
born in
goodness.
2005.
Oh my God. dude.
You want to talk about making me feel old?
Yeah, you. gotta
Colton,
be
how
one
are
of
you
the
doing, man?
realest
Good to
fans
see you out
that I
here.
know of right now.
Yeah, no, I've been obsessed with Texas football forever.
But,
As long as I've been
for the
around.
simple fact that you lived through the worst of the worst and you're still here, like, hats off to you, man.
Wouldn't
Hey,
want
it's
it
like
any
those
other
80s
way.
kids, man. Hey,
Dude,
like look
like,
up the 1980s. It was a bad
Oh,
stretch
it was
then
bad.
too. Yeah,
It was bad.
Oh, you know it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
are a
was
Texas
bad.
fan.
Yeah, no, it was real bad. that might have been worse.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just sitting here, Nash. I'm kind of sharing, trying to get more people to jump in for you.
Hey Nash, do
no,
you
it's, I mean we're good. We're chilling.
do you read the Inside Texas stuff, or you like Horns 24/7, or do you like on Wire?
I mean,
Catch
I
those guys'
I try
arrivals?
and keep up with everything as much as I can. But I have subs to Inside Texas, no Orange Bloods.
Okay, I have a subscription to Inside Texas, but not the other side. Sometimes I listen to Orange Blood's live streams though.
Yeah, shout out Orange
Yeah.
Bloods. Hey, Orange Bloods tune in every 6:30 to 7:30. See,
I did see that.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
appreciate it. See, catch your
Hey, Nash,
your boy and
did you
Travis
team
and
up with
Aaron.
OB?
Huh?
Did you team up with OB?
I mean, I am doing a morning show with them every 6:30 to 7:30 a.m.
Well,
Monday through
why
Friday.
did you not tell me that, sir?
I put out a lot of tweets.
I know, bro. But I've been so focused on.
It's
trying to get
I know, but
something
it's
brand new.
like you gotta realize there's a lot of people that it's hard to talk to everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
Sorry.
like I said, after I put out my footage from Grayson Harris and the Ennis and Waxahachie game, like my DMs, like I'm gonna have to. That's the reason why I'm rebranding everything. I've got to do a restart.
Hey, and hey, speaking of joining Texas football in the 2010s, in 2010, Shadow Bearded out here in the chat. Hey, it's never too late to be a Longhorn, but I mean the fact that you joined, you're 30, you missed out on all the good stuff. You arrived, you're like, I'm here, I'm at the party, let's go, baby. What?
5 and 7, right
What?
off rip.
What did I sign up for? Yeah. Hey, but
Yeah.
look, fine. Look, it's looking like you're finally going to be able to get one. I don't know if y'all watched my video earlier today. There's a lot of draft picks on this Texas Longhorn roster. It's just it's too talented to not have anything below 10 wins is a legit problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
9 wins with this roster, I'm like I don't want to be that guy, right? But I will be that guy. There's issues with Steve Sarkisian.
If it's 9 and 3,
Not with this defense.
no Big
Not
12
with this
championship.
defense.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
No,
this
no,
defense, the amount of
those-
quarterbacks that we have, the wide receivers, the running
Now, what about
backs.
this, Nash? What about this? Imagine we go 9 and 3. One of our losses to Bama, so you got 2 conference losses. You make it to the Big 12 championship game. You win, and then you win your New Year's Six bowl game. Finish 11 and 3. How do we gauge the temperature of that?
It's still there's one too many losses in there.
I would agree, but at the same time,
because here's the
the
deal,
fans
like,
would be riding that high of that New Year's Six bowl win, Big 12 championship win.
I think, but at the same time, yeah, you're right because it's different than Herman. Because Herman, like, there was that, like, see, here's the difference. Herman, that was year 2, so it was like, oh my god, yes, we did it,
Yeah.
we got the guy, right? We got him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh no, wait, you don't want to recruit offensive line? What? Like,
Hey,
what are we talking about now? You don't want to develop guys? What? You want to just get them so
Hey,
big
Nash,
that they look
what about
big and
what
fierce
about
coming off
how
the
he
bus,
was
and then they
given a
get torn
blank
muscles?
check
Sorry, what Trent?
and literally brought in everybody from Houston?
Sorry, what was it, Trent?
Like,
Restart.
I
Re-ask it.
said, when Herman came in, he was literally given a blank check, but he chose to go roll with his whole staff from Houston, and he only recruited the Houston area based on stars. He wasn't developing a team; he was developing stars.
Yeah, I mean it's bit
Or
in the ass in the end.
he was recruiting stars, not developing.
I
Which
will
is
never
why
forgive
I left.
Tom Herman. Sorry. I'll never forgive Tom Herman for what he did to Jake Smith.
Oh, hey, whoa, hold on. I want to say
That
one
that
thing
was
about
that was downright criminal, man. And Jordan Whittington.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to say one thing about Tom Herman. Hey Nash, were you in the space when Langy was in there talking about after
No, I
Jalen
wasn't.
Colby had passed away?
No.
I want to say one thing about Tom Herman for any Texas fan that's listening. No matter how bad you think of him or how big of a dick he may have seemed to be, uh, Coach Langy was speaking from the heart. Um, Jalen Holby, he went off to, I guess it was either Arizona or Arizona State, whichever one, or somewhere in New Mexico.
I think it was New Mexico. New Mexico
Yeah,
State.
it was New Mexico State. So, long story short, do you want to know the only 2 coaches that showed up to his funeral out of Texas and or New Mexico State, wherever he was at? Do you want to know who they were? It was Jake Langy and Tom Herman. And so that gave me a lot of respect for Herman, but we can't change what happened. And let's see what he does. Let's see what
I
he
mean,
does.
here's the deal.
FAU.
Look at the end of the day, I understand that, but I mean, like, to me, like, I don't want to say anything like wrong or controversial. That was a very nice move of him to do. That was very respectful, and at the end of the day, him and Jake were the only 2 people to do it. But you know what he also did? He also threw Sam Ellinger back out there concussed 3 times. He threw his B.J. Foster out there because he had no safeties left behind him. I mean, he has safeties behind him, but using B.J. Foster's body that's broken is better than tossing out players that can. It just, at the end of the day,
Yeah, no. I totally
it comes.
it.
I don't know. To me, it just probably comes across as fake. That's just because that's the rest of what Tom Herman's done. But here, I'm gonna get to Jay Dizzle and see what he's calling for real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, we just lost Jay Dizzle. Yeah, hey Trent, if I mute you real quick, I'm trying to get to somebody else.
No,
okay,
you're
here,
good, bro.
hold on. Okay,
I
here we go.
Take care of something.
All right, what's good, Jay Dizzle? How are you? Oh, nope. Jay Dizzle, you're on. You should be unmuted now. I literally just unmuted you. So you joined back up. Oh my goodness, this is.
He said my bad.
Yeah, no. Get him joined up. So while we're waiting for him, I'm going to go through the chat real quick and read some of these chat, I think born in 96, close to me. I think 10-2 with this past decade has done things to me, Nash. Yes, it's done. Battered fan syndrome this decade has done a number on us.
Battered horn syndrome.
Battered horn syndrome. You know what battered fan syndrome is? You're good if you don't want to. Okay. All right. Well. All right, Trent. If you're still there, he's not from a fan perspective. Okay, like I said, from fanatic perspective.
Hey, do you is Steven from Fanatic Perspective? Is he doing something with Bleacher Report now?
Yes, yes. Shout out to Steven. He's got a gig with Bleacher Report.
That is awesome. He was the first guy that first Texas guy that I found, long time ago.
He's the for the Texas Longhorn YouTube space. He's like the grandfather of all. Like he's like he's like our he's the OG.
Yeah, I remember it was him and oh man, what was the other guy's name that was on there that he had the guy with the long hair? His buddy.
Yeah, Tran.
Yeah, that's what it was. I couldn't remember his name.
What's up, Jay Dizzle? Yeah, you should be good.
There you go.
He might have push to talk on.
Oh.
Here, hold on. Let me see. Yo, you might have to have like a push to. Let me. Oh no. Yo, what's good, Jay Dizzle? Was that Trent or was that him? Yeah, Trent, so I don't. Oh, he's just signed. Oh yeah. Did you have to change your push talk feature? Shot.
No, I'm on PC though. He's on mobile.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
But I mean, did you have a Discord account already too? Or you?
Yeah, I did.
You kind of hop in these things, so you.
Yeah, I've been on
my
Discord
thing is he might have just started an account and then it might. If that's like the default thing, that sucks.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Hey, Jay Dizzle, you might have to go into the settings and go to voice and video and change input to voice activity, not push to talk. It's at the very top of those options. I apologize for this. It's I wish people automatically went in able to just talk.
You gonna be at any games this year?
I'm gonna be at every single home game. I'm going to try to be at Oklahoma. And
I will be at Red River. This will be my first time ever being at Red River.
Really? Okay, I've been
Yes,
2 times.
I'm stoked.
What's up, Jay Dizzle? You get it good? No. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I think he's gonna have to try and fit. I might have to do a different way to do these call-in shows if that's the problem. But what's good, Trent? You're back up.
Not much, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
No, I just stepped away for a minute. You know, I had to go use the restroom and take the dog out and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I was kind of looking through, you know, some of the comments on Twitter. And uh, I kind of wanted to go back to that TCU game. Um, I don't want to call it conspiracy, but does nobody believe that Jared Wiley knew every sign coming in? Not to mention the fact that we only ran the ball to the right because of what happened to Banks early on in the game.
I
I
forgot
mean, I don't know if
Jared
it's
Wiley was
conspiracy,
on that
but
TCU team.
at the end of the day, I think there's some
Well,
stuff that you can take away with Steve Sarkisian's offense, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to change
yeah.
a ton, but
But
philosophy.
the one thing that strikes me is we didn't change the playbook, but we changed all of our signs from the sideline going into Quinn or whoever into the whole offense. So
I don't think that Jared Wiley would know anything more than Sonny Dykes, who's breaking down film on text that they had that whole year.
why would you believe that when Jared Wiley was literally on campus and knew the signs from the sideline prior to going to TCU?
I mean, yeah, he definitely knew, but if he was able to relay all that information, in real time, then that's more power to him. Maybe he got it done.
I mean,
Well,
here's
but
my
not
thing.
just
I think it just comes down to the fact that, like, I mean, if you look and you go look at what Steve Sarkisian said, the only person that played winning football versus TCU on offense was Jordan Whittington.
Jordan Whittington.
Like there was Jatavian Sanders didn't drop many passes, but I mean there was a key third down. Ball hits him dead in the hands. I mean, we need this, and there's not a soul around him, and it's a big chunk play at that point if he catches it, and it just goes off right off his hands. I mean, there's multiple just like what's going on where, and I think that also showed how limited Quinn was, because Quinn was.
But my biggest question, I guess, is obviously. So when, just in general, I don't know if everybody knows this that's listening, but so you have certain signs that you hold up on the sideline, and it's literally telling, what you're about to do. It's not telling the exact play, but it's saying if you're going to run or pass the ball for more or less. But Quinn never really was trusted enough after he came back from his injury to be able to audible plays. And he wasn't reading defenses like how he studied film to prepare for this year. So basically, all that I'm saying is, we never ran the ball not one time to the left after the first quarter, which was the opening script for Sark. And the sign, like how many times did you see like any run play was immediately getting stuffed? And it just, if the run's not working in Sark's offense, then you have no RPO.
I mean, so back to what I was saying is, I think the thing that really stood out to me was the fact that Quinn Ewers, he was throwing the ball into double and triple coverage, but that was like I was telling you, I was saying this goes to speak how limited Quinn was, and you were kind of talking about the same thing as the fact that he's being told, hey, this is where you're going to go, and this is where the ball needs to go. This is your read.
Yeah.
And you execute this, and he was executing them, but TCU, the reality is they just outcoached Steve Sarkisian on the other side when it came down on the defensive side.
And I mean, also, you got to look at how many draft picks came off that defense. D Winters balled out that game.
Yeah,
what did
D Winters had a great season.
TCU had eight guys that went in the first 3 rounds.
I think they had 8 off that defense that they lost.
No, not just the defense. You're talking about Quentin Johnston. He came off the offensive side.
Right. First round.
I don't really remember where.
I don't know where Hodges Tomlinson fell. I don't know where. I know Duggan went 7th round.
So Duggan went 7th round, but a lot of those draft picks were from the defensive side, other than
Yeah.
Quentin Johnston.
Duggan got
Uh,
released today, by the way.
Yeah, I was doing my fantasy draft, and not that I was going to draft him, but uh, you know, like I said, I've been focusing on other things, kind of like Nash does. You know, he's been trying to grow and do different things like this. So, but like last night, you know, I'm in a $500 buy-in league for, you know, fantasy, and so the one thing I will say about OB. Hey, Nash, if you talk to Alex Dunlap, tell him thank you. Because Roster Watch is the best damn thing available for pre-draft fantasy football.
Hey, Alex is my guy. I love Alex's stuff. He's a
And
really knows what he's
Alex
talking
is
about.
he's not a sunshine pumper. He keeps it real.
Though I will also plug my guy. Go tune into the Fantasy Flock Network on YouTube, and also check out flockfantasy.com. He's basically, if you ever want to know if there's one person that's responsible for me doing all this YouTube stuff, my microphone is from him, my camera is from him, my motivation is from him. I thank that guy a lot.
That's awesome.
He's been a really good guy. Now speaking on
Hey,
TCU,
Nash,
speaking on TCU, the returning production, offensive returning production, they are last in the country, 130 of 130. Now it is weighed differently, so like Texas is third in the country.
mm-hmm.
Just we have 85% returning production, despite
And
losing Bijan
look
Robinson and
at
Roshan
what
Johnson.
point-
The reason why is because they have it weighed out at running backs account for 6% of the offense. So
Yeah, that
basically,
makes sense.
TCU, they have a 33% returning offensive production at 130th in the nation, like I said, and then defensive 71% with 40%. Well, that's 40th in the nation. So they actually do, according to Bill Connolly and the way that he weighs this stuff, they have some defensive production returning. I mean, Texas is technically ranked 68th with 63% compared to 71. So they
Is
do have a
that,
defense returning.
Is that S&P Plus?
It's not S&P Plus, but here let me just go to the.
Hey Nash, will you put in Discord? Will you plug your guy in that you were just talking about so I can go follow him?
Yeah, here I'll do it. I mean, just if you just type in Flock Fantasy anywhere, it'll come up.
How do you say it? Fantasy? What is it?
Flock Fantasy, FLOK, FLOCK, flock, like a duck flock. Here, hold on.
Okay, so like a flock of feathers.
Like a flock of ducks.
Am I hearing that
That's,
right?
Yeah, FLOCK.
that's his logo. Flock Fantasy.
All right. Let me see what I can do real quick.
See, spelled like that. Flock.
So
Cool.
flock fantasy.
Flock Fantasy. Okay, so this is the same dude that does the S&P Plus, but so here's how he weighs them: wide on offense, wide receiver, tight end, receiving yards is 24% of the overall number. QB passing yards is 23%. Percent of returning OL snaps. This is why Texas is so high. Is 47% weighed, and then the returning running back rushing yards is 6%. And then on defense, it's percent of returning tackles is 70%. Is that's weighed. So that's a big deal when you're losing DeMarvin Overshown, Anthony Cook. That's gonna affect that 70% in a really large number. 14% of returning passes defended. We lost a good number of passes defended with Deshaun Jameson. Yeah, whatever your thoughts are on him, he had some pass breakups. So you know what, can't argue that. Not saying anything else about him. Percent of returning tackles, 12%. I mean, I'm certainly not talking trash about Deshaun Jameson. I know there are people that will, and I'm just not trying to open that can of worms. And then percent of returning sacks is 4%. So really, Texas, we didn't lose a lot of sacks from last year.
Because we never had many to begin with.
No, not outside of Barron Sorrell. Barron Sorrell did hold his own, though. He did hold his own.
He did. I expect a big jump from Barron Sorrell this year.
Here's the deal. I I wouldn't even consider this a jump if it happens. But I expect a jump in Baron Sorrell. Not Baron Sorrell. Brain fart right there. And Tavondre Sweat. I expect a jump in Tavondre Sweat's sack numbers, and even if he stays a level.
Hey, Nash, just to clarify, Trey just texted me and he said we did not have 8 drafted from defense.
Okay. Well,
So I guess.
Here, why not do this?
Link.
Hey, well, hold on. So that means Trey's tuning in. Hey, Trey, hop on in here. Give a call. What's up, man?
I'm trying to, bro. I'm trying to get him in.
No, he doesn't have to, man. I'm just okay. So
Nah,
1, 2, 3. They had 7 drafted last year. So hold on. They had a linebacker, defensive back, defensive end, and that's it.
Kendra Miller get drafted?
Kendra Miller did. Third overall. They had a guard go.
Yeah,
Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
Darius
Kendra
Davis.
Miller,
D winners, Hodges Tomlinson, and Horton.
Yep.
That's so 3 guys. But I will give a consolation prize out that they are 1 at each different level, so there is an effect at that. But it's not 7.
Yeah, no doubt. But also, I mean, so let me y'all go ahead and talk, and I'm gonna pull up a DM that I have from somebody, which is a source of mine that let's just say, you know how you have burners and you have different people on.
Well, I mean, don't be leaking nobody's burner. I'm not. This is not no snitch. This is not a snitch channel.
I'm not leaking burners. I'm just saying. There's a guy that I've got that's very plugged in with what you would call the BMDs of Texas.
Well, I mean, we will take breaking news.
Yeah, well, I want to give y'all like a true update on what's really taking place from what this source has told me about how they feel about the program right now. Coming from a guy that literally dropped $5 million into the Texas One Fund a week before Colin Simmons.
Hey, so with Mo Blackwell being sidelined for a couple weeks, we'll if we go into our base 3-man front, I think Ant Hill starts now at Sam. Is that right? I think that's right.
Absolutely. You start the best.
Well, they're gonna move him around everywhere.
Have plenty of packages
obviously that, but he's one of the starting 11 defensive players on the field. But now, when you talk about Ant Hill, now that we've lost Blackwell, okay. Coley Cole on 24. Coley Cole 24/7 on Twitter. One of my best follows on Twitter for Longhorn Nation. Does all Longhorn spaces. He's probably doing not probably. I think he is doing a space right now. Yeah, he is doing a barbershop space. He mentioned, and this is so true last night, we do not need to have him taking any snaps in the second quarter. If there is a BS targeting call that takes him out for 1/2 versus Alabama, that's going to be painful. You don't play him versus Rice in the second quarter. And you know what? I even added on to. I'm like, you know what, Cole? I want 1 to 5 snaps at the end of the first quarter where he's not on the field. You give it a gap. You say he didn't even exist in the second quarter.
Man, I know that he's uber talented, and I think
half.
that he's a future first-round draft pick, but it's a scary thought
Are we talking about
if his first snaps are against Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
Well,
who are we talking
and then his
about?
first snaps in that game are in the back half of the, like the second half of the game.
Yeah,
He's
in the
coming out at
second half,
halftime.
Yeah,
He's got
to imagine.
He's got to sit in the locker room at halftime watching the team play, and then just because here's that's got to be crazy for a player. Like if you're just sitting there and you just you got to feel like a dog on a leash, or like you just want to you just got all this pent up energy and you just want to let it loose, and then but I think, man, that's where you really could probably run into some mistakes. Like, that's when a guy could maybe trying too hard to make a play, Not the same as Osai, but similar to Osai. If you remember the Kansas City play, that was just that was
Yeah, I
unfortunate.
felt
Man,
so
he
bad
was
for
just
him, man.
because that was just a pure like he was doing everything you want somebody to do.
It just
And
happened that Patrick Mahomes' foot stepped out one step earlier.
Hey, so I've got this message pulled up. Can I verbatim tell you what it says?
I mean, yeah. I mean, as long as no one's
All
getting
right, so,
mad at me.
As long as Nash isn't getting in
It's
trouble.
hey,
No, no,
this
no,
is
no,
Trent.
no.
This is coming from Trent, not me, not Nash. Nope.
No. I'm not gonna give anything away in this because I never will. But just for instance, it says, "Hey coach, we're surviving the heat. Remind you, this is coming from somebody that has Sark and CDC's personal cell phone number. Whatever you read about external optimism about the team is double internally."
That's good to hear.
Okay, so hold on, because I gotta watch what I say. Okay, so just bear with me. The development aspect is really showing dividends with the kids recruited 2 years ago and last year. With maybe one exception, the portal transfers and have been outstanding in terms of going about in training and or acting in a professional manner. Okay, so I gotta watch how I phrase this one. Let's just say Xavier Worthy got a real dose of a reality when A.D. Mitchell came in. And then to go on, he seemed to recapture the same attitude edge he had 2 years ago. He goes on to say that Quinn is a totally different human being than what we saw last year. He thinks that the biggest thing that's going for us outside of the culture is simply buy-in created by staff concerning the O-line. Basically meaning it's a plug-and-play type thing right now, like Flood's trying to figure out what he wants to do. He's ecstatic about the lessons that are taken and the seriousness of the kids that he's gotten. And this will be one thing that will probably make you go, I'm full of shit, or make you really think about what's taking place. But he believes the absence of Bijan and Roshan will actually work to Sark's advantage.
I can see that.
Yeah. So here, hold on. I'm gonna. I think thank you for those texts. We're good on those now. Yeah, man. I think Steve Sarkisian was really pigeonholed into using Bijan Robinson, Roshan Johnson.
Yep, and they had to make their own holes.
Here's the other thing too. When you talk about that note about Xavier Worthy, I mean, I think that was really easy for everybody to see. There was not much competition for Worthy on this roster, and I mean, because I'm not even going to say that Jordan Whittington was competition for Xavier Worthy. They're two different roles, and they're in my opinion they're synergetic. You know, they work in unison versus they don't. It's not like they're tugging and pulling against each other. Whereas like
it's not like Jordan Whittington playing good is stealing playing time from Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's going to be pushing Jonte Cook pushing Worthy more than AD is Jonte Cook. I mean, Worthy is like he has there's a legit ball player right behind you now. You got he's a dog chomping on the bit. He wants
And
to
it's funny,
he wants to go. Margin Hooks is bringing
yeah.
ready players.
And if you could compare Johnson Cook to a current college player, I don't think there's a better player comp than Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, I mean they're like
I'm sorry, but Jonte Cook, he can track a ball 10 times better than Worthy ever could.
You know,
no,
that
but
might,
we're
that
talking
might
about
be
we're
true.
talking
That
about
might
we're
be
talking about
true.
use. We're talking about how they get used, Trent. We're talking about the profile, the speed, the size, everything, the hands. I mean, you can
Ball
say
frame, real quick,
people
real
can say
agile.
people can say the tracking issue about Worthy. There's some truth to that, but at the end of the day, I don't buy like the people are making it out to be like it's way worse than it is, and the reason why I think that is because you go and you look at there were multiple times that he showed the ability to track the football, but he just didn't come down with the catch. And so that doesn't come down to tracking. That comes down to just piecing everything together and being a complete wide receiver. I think now he's being forced to really hone in, practice, because I mean it's like it's the same thing as like, and I know Worthy hasn't had a Jamar Chase season at college yet, but it's to me it's the same shit as when fantasy football people were sitting there losing their damn mind about Jamar Chase saying that he can't track a ball because it doesn't have lines on it anymore. It's one. I don't know. I don't buy it that much.
So hey, the one thing that I'll tell you though. Okay, so where I think a lot of people get, and this will go back to Quinn and the learning curve. Okay, so it'll go back to what you were talking about earlier, Nash, with that learning curve. And you're talking about a lot of people that are just casual fans that don't watch X's and O's. They don't read or they don't see that primarily the first read that Quinn was supposed to have was supposed to be going to Worthy. And so no longer now are we going to have the problem with shading the safety to so-called double coverage because they know that that's our only option to throw to, and Sark wants to hit the deep ball. You're going to have Nayor, you're going to have AD, you're going to have Jonte, you're going to have DeAndre Moore in the slot, you're going to have, hell, you might even see a Ryan Niblett hit the field. I doubt it, but it's possible. But where I'm going with it, like the tracking the ball issue, I don't know how much of a part of that. Like we all heard about the broken thumb and everything like that. But also at that same token, when Quinn came back, he was playing scared of getting hit again, because that hit that Dallas Turner put on him.
I don't see that. I watched every single play, and
hold on.
I just don't see that.
Let me finish. Let me finish, and then I'll stop. Quinn had not taken a real live game hit in almost 2 years. And so he goes to make a play, jumps up in the air, off his feet, to throw a ball off platform like Quinn did in high school, and amazed everyone. And Dallas Turner put him in the ground, and he hit directly on that joint in the shoulder. And I truly do believe that Quinn played scared to get hit and wasn't setting his feet. He wasn't going through his progression as he should have up until you watched him
if
play
that's
Washington.
the case, why did he have one of the best games that we've ever seen a Texas quarterback have versus Oklahoma? I mean, here's the deal. The reality is, hold on. So here's the deal. Quinn Ewers, there were multiple times that he actually stood in there and took a hit in the pocket after the Alabama. I don't buy that at all. Plus, he had also, before that, you say that was the first time that he was exposed to a hit at the college level. Before that hit, if you remember, there was a ball to Jordan Whittington. Quinn Ewers gets sandwiched by two Alabama defenders, either D linemen or linebackers. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not true. Quinn, he had taken hits before in that game. He took a huge hit, delivered a great ball. I mean, this is something that really it stood out, and the only reason why I'm pushing back on it is because it jumped out to me so much, was Quinn's ability. His not ability but willingness to stay inside the pocket and deliver a clean ball while taking a hit, and he did that all throughout the season, all times.
I truly do believe that. I truly do.
It just flies in the face. It just flies in the face of the fact that saying that he was scared to take a hit and all that stuff. I think really what happened was hold on. I think really what happened was versus Oklahoma State. You look at it. If you here, hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Can I talk for a second while you're doing what you're doing? Hey,
sorry about this. I'm gonna have to wrap this up to help out my dad. But basically, versus Oklahoma State, you look at it. Quinn Ewers, there was the reports coming out saying, "Hey, he's wearing a glove on his throwing hand." It's like, and nobody had heard a whisper of any injury whatsoever. Has that horrible game versus Oklahoma State, and then you go and you look and then Steve Sarkisian after the game said, and I hate the way he said this, but the thumbnail, I hate the thumbnail. Like saying a thumbnail,
okay.
Make something up. But at the end of the day, I have a video that I've done on this, I have a video that I've done on this where I explain this in depth, where I believe that it was an injury that caused Quinn Ewers' decline in play, because there's a 4-game consecutive stretch where it's every single game outside of that is above 60% completion percentage from Quinn Ewers outside of those 4 games.
Right. I totally believe you. Can I give you?
Yeah, you can say your piece, and I'm gonna have to get out of here after this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just want to throw this out there for the legend. Rest in peace to the pirate, Mr. Mike Leach. But if the dude never played football in his life, but he always wanted to be a weatherman. So when he was out at Texas Tech, he literally talked about how he loved when teams came to play at Texas Tech in Lubbock. He loved a 20-mile-an-hour plus wind. And when we were playing at Oklahoma State, you were looking at 20 to 25 plus, almost up to 30 wind gusts at certain points in time. And there were certain balls that he couldn't feather just right.
Well, I mean, but you also, we had that, I don't know, I could buy that, but at the same time, Texas fans were ridiculing A&M fans for the same thing. And when their quarterback was struggling, and on top of that, the day that Quinn Ewers had the throw that showed that, oh my God, we have the best quarterback of all time back on the we're good. Isaiah Nayor, touchdown. You know, that day was the spring game. That was
right before he went down.
The spring game. The spring game was 25 mile an hour with gusting up to 30. But
yeah, but the stadium set up differently.
Hey, I gotta head out.
I gotta head out too.
The one thing.
Here,
the thing I'm most excited about for Saturday is whenever we walk out there in 11 personnel and we got 4 wide receivers. We got Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, Isaiah Nayor, and Jordan Whittington, and then J.T. Sanders is out there also. I don't think many teams are going to be able to stop that.
Hey, I agree with you, man. And I'm very pumped. Right. We're going to be doing a couple more of these, but I appreciate y'all for calling in. I got to go help out my dad.
I'll see y'all.
Hey, just go look at that. Mike Leach does the weather video in London.
Yeah.
And you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, we'll let y'all.
All right, appreciate y'all. Have a good day.